Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. Thank y'all, everybody, staying with us as we progress through the night. We got a lot that we are doing tonight, a lot to get to, and a lot that we've already gotten to. Before I do that, I just want to poll the room real quick. Taji, I know that you like football. What you represent?
New York Giants, baby.
Oh, okay. And then the ladies.
Oh,
Dee, what you represent?
What it say? Redskins.
Oh, okay. Okay. Miss Tony, what you representing over there?
Steelers.
Okay. Big bro, what you representing over there?
D4 life, boy. You know I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh, okay. I thought you was going to say Denver. Detroit, yeah.
No, they got lead in the water. Can't fool with them.
Hey, Taji, can I ask you a question, brother?
Yeah, go ahead, babe.
Who's in first place in the NFC East right now?
The G-Man.
Oh, okay, that's what I wanted to know. Ain't no half step with Marcus J live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. A little vanity
Who's your
with your boy.
again?
The two-time MVP of the Super Bowl, Elijah Manning.
Okay.
Who's your quarterback?
Oh,
Brandon
his toe.
Whedon. That's right.
You know what? I hope he stomp his toe in the shower.
Yeah. Who's your quarterback? Kirk Cousins. That's right. Who's your quarterback? Michael Vick. That's right.
I don't know who my quarterback is.
Kirk Cousins.
We the only ones with some rain.
Yeah. That's my brother right there. Ain't no ass step with Marcus J live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio, have a little fun with that, and then we, of course, we build our show as socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. So that was our little sports hit. Thank you to those folks that are listening to us right now on TuneIn. We appreciate those folks who are listening to the website, www.legacyinternetradio. You've gone there, you've checked us out. Thank you to those folks that are listening to us on the strength of our special guests, Dee, Taji, Big Bro Joe, and Miss Tony, and for the 2 or 3 of y'all that's listening because y'all like me. And then, of course, thank you to those folks that are listening to the replays right now in podcast form in YouTube. It's because y'all check us out every single week is why we keep doing this. I'm vain. I'll probably do the show even if I knew nobody was listening. But
me too, dog.
But I am glad that y'all actually come and check us out. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial if you actually want to be vain and hear yourself like I want to hear myself. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. Now, I want to move into the next segment of the show. I want to kind of have, I don't know how serious we're going to be on this one, but I at least want to have the discussion about the Million Man March that took place over the weekend. And let me just kind of give you guys my own little bit of synopsis with it. There are a lot of angles with it. They're all going to come out. I'm not going to give you kind of everything that I'm thinking just in my little monologue here. I'm just going to give you a little bit. But in October of 1995, when the original Million Man March happened, I was a senior at Virginia Union University, and Dr. John Watson was my Spanish teacher, a black man who taught Spanish, who looked the class square in the eye and said, any of y'all don't come to my class on that day. It was a Tuesday that year. If you don't come to class, I'm failing you for the year. That's what he said. Black man at a black college said, if you don't come to class, I'm failing you for the year. And so because I was one of those people that respected authority, I did not go. I didn't go in 1995. I didn't go. There were people in my class that went, and they didn't fail for the year. Obviously, he was bluffing, but I fell for it. In 2005, I did make the trek for the 10-year anniversary. It was called the Millions More Movement at the time. Right. And I went dolo. White folk, that means by yourself. I went dolo to D.C. from here in Richmond by myself, and I was not alone because I felt the comfort of my family in D.C. for the Millions More Movement. I made a personal choice to not go to the 20th anniversary of the Justice or Else rally that took place this past Saturday. And as I stated, as we get through the discussion here, my reasons for it will come out. But I want everybody else's story. We have 3 marches for Million Man March that have taken place in the last 20 years. I want your thoughts on each of them, where you were in 95, 05, and 15 2 days ago. Dee Dee, you up first.
95. I think I was still in school. I want to say, well, we were headed. The group of us were headed. We never made it. one stop, and that was the end of that trip. So, but I was supposed to be there Saturday as well. Stuff happened, so I'm gonna leave it alone. But I watched.
Where'd you watch?
I watched at home.
On what network?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me tell you
Fox
how long
News.
it took me to watch to get to it.
Wasn't no Fox News back then.
It took a while. I mean, I was looking at a movie, I think, and then for some reason, I hit the remote. C-SPAN was the next channel. I was like, look at this.
You talking about in 95 or this weekend?
No, this weekend.
Oh,
this past weekend.
This weekend.
Yes,
this
I was
weekend.
like, ain't this something? It was the only channel that showed it from beginning to end.
Really? C-SPAN?
Yep.
Wow.
C-SPAN.
C-SPAN. I'm gonna get to that because that's
C-SPAN.
a big chunk of what we
Wasn't
want.
BET.
Well,
It wasn't.
hold that thought because
It was no other channel. It was no other news outlet. Because I went to CNN first. That's my staple. You know, they cover everything, black. So there was I don't even remember what was on CNN, but C-SPAN had it.
I could tell you what was on. This weekend is the anniversary, or this month is the anniversary of O.J. Simpson being acquitted of murder.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of that programming. But we're gonna come back to the coverage in a minute. Taji, 95, 05, 15, 3 marches. Where were you?
95. I was at VCU campus,
Virginia Commonwealth University.
Virginia Commonwealth University. I did not go to the Million Man March. However, I was there in spirit, and I understood what was going on and things of that nature. 05, I might have been at work somewhere. You know what I mean? Got to pay the bills. This past weekend, my feelings about it. Of course, I wasn't there, but my feelings about it. In spirit, it's good. It's a good thing to come together. Under that umbrella. But I just wish we had some more ingredients. I wish we had some more ingredients to go with. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's it. That's my take.
Tony, 95, 05, 15.
I was still in middle school in 95.
Girl, I'm not going to let you do that. I can tell these people how old you are for real, or I'm going to let you fix that. Your choice.
Okay, 95, I was actually in the military. I was in training. 2005,
You had a
I
gun?
was... Huh?
You had a gun? No. Was it
Not
legal?
my own personal one, but
Was
I
it-
had access to
was it
one.
legal?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't like guns.
Don't tase me,
I'm
bro. Don't tase me.
scared.
All right, sorry.
Well, I pepper sprayed it. 2005, I was actually in Florida. And Saturday, kind of embarrassed to say that I didn't know about it until I saw one of my friends post that she was there.
Okay, I can dig it. Ain't no how Steppin, Marcus J, one of our biggest supporters and listeners. Michelle K is checking in. She says, "What's up to everybody in the crew, Tony, specifically to you." She's saying that y'all got to represent for them Steelers tonight, and she's enjoying
Thank you, girl.
listening to the show. So, big bro, 95, 05, 15, Million Man Marches. Where were you?
95 I was there. 95 was a good year.
Okay.
I was actually there. It was 7 of us, all ball players, that went to Virginia State at the time.
Which I played lacrosse.
Yeah, we played lacrosse. I hit people. Same thing I do now. Hit people with sticks. Be big, but carry a bigger stick.
Yeah, I am. I tried to take a shot. He came right back with it.
You on his toes?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's my brother right there. So 05.
05, oh, 05, I was doing what we were grinding in 05. We was at the one.
Yeah, so that's the period. So he's looking at Didi. So Didi and Big Bro were colleagues in the business.
In the business, yeah, we were.
We'll leave it there.
We were stepping frosters. And then this year, I was doing the same thing. I was working. I was here in Richmond,
You was in
but
the
I was there in spirit.
Right.
Now
here's the reason why I brought that up. First of all, I wanted to kind of have the perspective of the room with regards to the marches and just generally, we're aware of them. We know what they are. We know what the purposes are. We of our ages, we range in age, with, the youngest, almost 40 to Joe being almost 60. So
I missed that.
Your great uncle.
But with us being in our late 30s and early 40s, we know about marches. We either been to marches or we've got people that we have access to who have been to marches. And so when I think about the Million Man March in 95 and 05 and in 15, I get the purpose. I get why we do it. 95 was great. Yes. I wish that I had gone because I was in college a year from graduating. I made a choice, to not go. And 05, because of that choice in 95, I made sure that I did what I had to do to make sure that I was there. But when 15 came along, it's just me, y'all. I'm tired of marching. I'm not doing it no more. Right. I've marched with Al Sharpton. I've marched with Minister Louis Farrakhan. I've marched locally in Richmond. I've marched in D.C. I've done it. I've been there. I've done that. And I just don't think, and this is just for me, that I am no longer interested in showing up in the town, dropping a couple of $100 on whoever it is I'm marching against so that they can get their money for me to be there in their town and be comfortable. Just to complain about a situation where with the technology the way it is in 2015, we can put the message out in a tweet and still get the point across. I remember being there in 05, and I know, in my personal opinion, a lot of what's going on in our communities are worse now than they were 10 years ago. And so my question is, what's the point? I asked that question in social media, and I was taken to task by a brother who questioned my intelligence and questioned my relevance as a talk show host and an internet radio station owner by asking, what's the point? Because this person assumed by me asking the rhetorical question, because obviously it was rhetorical, and I'm not sure he even knew what rhetorical meant, but for me to ask the rhetorical question, what's the point, I think is very, very fair. Joe, I want you to jump in here now, because had you, and we were together on Saturday, interest in full disclosure, we were at the Richmond Folk Festival. We was hanging out with DJ Flash, Grandmaster Flash, I should say. Grandmaster Flash. You know what I mean? Hip-hop legend and pioneer. We was kicking it with him. That's where we were in lieu of the march. There are some that would say that we was some Coonan brothers because we was doing a hip-hop concert when we were not in D.C. marching. There's at least one person that's thinking that. Somebody's thinking that.
I'm sure it's more than one.
Somebody's thinking.
But you know what? Tell them meet me outside.
I mean, we ain't got to take it there. What I want to know from you is, in 2015, what's your thoughts, not just on your availability Saturday. Assume that you were available, you could have went. What's your thoughts on marching in 2015?
Okay, I'm going to throw a straight jab. Going up at this present time, as you said, we've done that before. We have. I think it's capitalism at its best. I think people are marketing. There you go. And I hate to say it like that. When it first happened, I think that there was a strong need, and I think that it was a strong will and desire. But just like everything else, it gets diluted, and nothing is being done. Truly, nothing is being done to fix the issues that we have. You can talk a lot, and we talk a lot. I mean, how many times, and we've said this over and over, we talked about the lead in the water. We talked about changing Columbus Day and getting rid of it. But think about it. We need to go back and think about the young men in the past. Well, okay, let's do this. Since 2005 to 2015, who've been shot by police officers, who've been killed and murdered in the streets. And what has truly changed in the aspect between then and now? Not saying that it's not relevant for us to keep it in the forefront and do something about it, but I think that, like you said, because I can tell you, them hotel rooms in D.C., all the way from Woodbridge to Maryland were $1 or better. And I'm talking about in the low-lying areas where your motels sit.
Jersey City
Absolutely
people,
not.
that's all the way. Jersey City people, that's all the way down to New Brunswick. I got to always translate it from a Jersey City family. That's all the way down to New Brunswick. Didi, what's your thoughts, man? Are we wasting our time marching? If you had been aware and able, is it something that you personally would have been willing and able to do?
I did want to be there.
Okay.
I did, because I missed both of the others. I wanted to be there, just to show, my support, my support.
You were feeling guilty.
Yes, I was. I felt, I need to be there. I wanted to take my kids, and I wanted to be there. Things happened. I couldn't go. But with that being said, I agree with Joe. we're marching, what's changed? What's happened in the past 10 years? What's happened in the past 10 years where this new march, what was the relevancy of it? And it's not because I don't think it was important. I'm just saying, what's happened? What's changed? What have we done? Because this march was about us. It was about our men, the black men. What's changed? What are they doing? What are we doing as a community before this march to make it that much more relevant than it was 10 years in 20 years ago? So I'm torn by it. I wanted to be there to show support, but the other thing is, we're just talking. We're still just talking.
Yeah,
we're just talking.
No, I can dig it. I mean, talk at some point. Talk is cheap. Tony, what's your thoughts?
I would like to have, and my son as well, experience just the fellowship of the march. But I think the time would be better spent being active in the community, like mentoring our youth.
Yes.
If every black man that went to that march mentored one black boy, that would have a huge impact. Volunteering, there's so many hungry children. Like that, for me right now, is really, something that I'm trying to get more involved in, because the thought that, there's a child, more than one child, there's hundreds of thousands of children across this country who go to bed at night hungry.
Yep.
And we act like it's okay and it doesn't exist. So there are things that we can do and that we should be doing. And to me, that whole the mentoring and volunteering is not just a black or white thing. Just as a society, like
Yes.
we need to help each other to bring each other up, because we're not making any progress if some of us are moving up and the rest of us aren't.
Taji?
Right. I put this on my Facebook post earlier in the week about, it's proven that we can come together. But if we don't share an agenda, if we don't share the same agenda,
Yes.
what is the point? You understand what I'm saying? Now, if there was a lot of people there on Sunday, and if each one gave $20, that's an institution that we could create and own and dictate. But just to be at a place in presence to protest, police brutality or the injustice that's going on, that was done over 40-something years ago in the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
So we need to take some action, and we need to not ask. We need to just do it, like
Yeah.
Nike say, just do it.
Right.
But the bottom line, in my opinion, is that we need to share a common agenda. We really need to share a common agenda. And the thing about it, we don't need everybody to agree. We
Nope.
need the right folks to agree.
I can dig it. Big
Right.
bro.
I just was going to just jump back in and reiterate, and I have to go back because it ticks me off that being a father, being a black man, being those things. Now, I listened to what Tony said, and I agree. If one of those men up there was to take another boy, more importantly, a black boy, and show him the things that we would need to do. But you know what? In order for, and I'm going to just put this out here because I'm a little bit pissed off at the folks who are males, not men, males, who make all of these children that I need to go back and tutor and mentor and do the job that they're supposed to do because they're too weak and weak-minded to be able to go out there and do it themselves. Now, I will never, ever shun or never, ever, ever turn a young man away. I met one this weekend at the folk festival. Kid is, he's not a kid, but he was, the way he was raised, his mom was in the trap all the time. She got put down for 16 years. And then to turn around, when she gets out, she puts him in the game because his pops dipped when he was 2. So I just think about the situations now. He's trying to sit there and think about, okay, he's 20 years old now. What am I going to do? Because he's looking at charges now. Well, he's about to be down potentially for 15 years.
Yeah.
So I still say that, you know what, I can't give my solace to those ratchet, no good, about good for nothing males. And I say that just because you walk around here and you can produce a child, it's a lot of responsibility behind producing a child, and you have to make sure that you're here from beginning to the end to make sure that they get what they need.
One thing that we haven't touched on, and I asked you guys to indulge me in not bringing it up, is the media coverage. Anybody who's listening right now, you want to get in on this, call us at 804-402-2893. That's the number to dial to be a part of the on-air discussion. Didi, you mentioned when you were speaking a little while ago how you were looking to find it on television, and you looked on CNN, which is your go-to, and it wasn't there, and eventually you found it on C-SPAN. And I'm going to share kind of what my thoughts are on the media coverage, but at this point I want you to jump in and tell us what your thoughts are on the media coverage. How do you, just your opinion, feel about the fact that you couldn't find it on your go-to station?
I was shocked. I was shocked that they covered every day of Ferguson, every day of it. They covered every place where there was a riot. And that's why I said, I was saying it tongue in cheek, but they cover all the black events. So, you know, I was expecting them to be covering, wait a minute, they covered Whitney Houston's funeral. I was expecting them to be covering the Million Man March, even if for an hour.
They covered the 20-year anniversary of OJ being found not guilty. They covered that too.
Well, I didn't watch that, so because I thought he should have been found guilty, but that's a different story.
Well, maybe do a show on that one day.
Yeah, but I was surprised. I just knew CNN was going to cover, or at least BET or TV1. I saw Roland Martin was out there, and my thing is, they sent a representative, or did he go out there for his own show, because he has his own show as well?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't want to tip too much in my hand. I want to see what my thoughts are come out in some of you guys' comments. But matter of fact, I won't say that. Tony, what's your thoughts? Media coverage, Million Man March. What do you think?
I think that it wasn't covered for the same reason that you no longer feel that the marches are productive. Like, they're thinking, for what? Basically. For what? We just taking pictures of a whole bunch of black folks walking in the street, and that's it. Nothing is going to change. So why waste our coverage on this? There's probably a violent act somewhere that we can cover that a lot more people will be interested in. They're going to do it again in 10 years. We can catch them the next time.
Well, you know, news media is called media entertainment.
Oh, absolutely.
News media entertainment. Mm-hmm. Black folks coming together under an umbrella of peace is not entertaining.
Absolutely not.
And so there you go. There you go. It doesn't have ratings, you know. But more importantly, you know, I see that we can come together, you know, but the marching we've been there, done that. If we could economically come together, that many people, we would never have to march again.
Yep.
If we could just economically come together.
We have to find a new means.
We do, because, you know, marching and protesting and rioting, those are predicted behaviors.
Yes.
Predicted behaviors. Right. So they're not effective.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Right. Because it's been done. Right. Okay, we got that push.
Exactly.
Now we got to do something else.
We got to do something else. And
here's
the one thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
No. The one thing. Go ahead.
The one thing that we have not done or tried on a scale is the economics.
Everybody does it. Yeah. Everybody does it. When you look back at history, economics is how we've gotten every single upgrade in our status in this country. If you look at how, you know, Lincoln freed the slaves, that was economics.
Yep. Yes.
You know, the bus boycott, that was economics. Yep. You know, the right to vote in the 60s, that was economics. It's always economics. But here's the thing that I'm glad nobody brought up, because I wanted to be the one to bring it up. I wanted to be the one to bring it up. We can sit here and act like they wasn't there all we want. But, they asses was there. CNN was there. Oh, yeah. MSNBC was there. Fox was there. You know why? Because they was waiting to see us wild out.
Let somebody
and burn
You're
some
right.
shit.
You're
act up and do something crazy. You would have seen breaking news live from DC. Farrakhan incites a riot.
You're right.
That joint would have been on TV so quick that they would have preempted everything else. They would have preempted freaking NASCAR in Richmond, Virginia, for that joint.
You're right.
And so
you're right.
You know who got more coverage last week or a couple weeks ago? The bike race.
Yeah, the local
bike race got more coverage.
Right.
The local bike race right here in Richmond, and I got a little bit of a problem with our people expecting our enemy, the media, to present us in a positive light. You got to know better than to expect them to do that, because you know that when you turn on television every night, and I'm a news person every night, CBS. I could be in Richmond, Jersey, or Phoenix, Arizona, or Tampa, or Atlanta, my adopted cities and nationally. I'm going to look for CBS. And they're always going to open it up with breaking news story about some shit that happened in the hood where Pookie shot Day-Day and Pookie is in handcuffs or at large.
And it's breaking.
News. You know what I mean? That's the way they're going to open it up. So you know that they were there. They were there. Of course they were there. Now, for those people who are up in arms about, well, why didn't BET and TV One show it? I can tell you what. BET had on Martin, and TV One had on Good Times.
That's what I heard.
Wow.
And C-SPAN had on the Million Man March.
Wow.
You know why C-SPAN had the Million Man March on? Because Congress wasn't in session, or else you might not even been able to watch it on there. And so I was debating with people. I was like, why are you surprised about that?
Right,
if you want to see it, then you can figure out how to see it. And how you see it is you go to justiceorelse.com, and they had the live stream on their website. But BET is owned by white people.
Yep. Viacom.
It is. Viacom owns BET.
But it's called Black Entertainment.
Well, it was founded as Black Entertainment Television,
for the past,
but
10 years,
but I bet a lot of those same people who was watching Martin on Saturday, on a random middle of the day Saturday, going to be watching the BET Awards tomorrow night.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what my point is, if you seek the truth, then you have to be a truth seeker on your own. You cannot expect anybody to give you the truth.
That's true.
You got to seek the truth and find the truth on your own. Preach. If you're unable to do so, then you will remain a dummy. And if you couldn't find the Million Man March on Saturday, then you were a dummy. I say that respectfully, but I say that firmly. It was there for you to find.
It was.
If you wanted to be a part of it.
Right.
But, if you don't want to be a part of it, that's cool too, because I can dig that. Because I'm the same guy that said 10 minutes ago I had no interest for it. Because I could have gotten that 2.5 hour speech that Farrakhan gave on finalcall.com, which I frequent anyway. You know what I'm saying? Big Bro Joe, we're talking about the media. We're talking about the media coverage of the Million Man March that took place, or I should say lack of media coverage. What's your thoughts on it, man? I know you were on the grind, so you couldn't watch it even if you wanted to. But there are a lot of people who were looking for the Million Man March and couldn't find it, and they stumbled upon it towards the end on C-SPAN, as opposed to the normal media outlets that they would expect, places like Black Entertainment Television, TV One, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. What's your thoughts on the media coverage of the Million Man March?
I'm just curious because I know I had to step out for a minute, but I know you made the point to say, and please, y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you couldn't find it, you were under a rock, because it was told to, well, I don't watch news that much, but it was told to me by other outlets about what was going on. So, I mean, if you pick up a newspaper, even if it's on the back page, if you read a magazine, if you're listening to the radio stations, you knew that it was coming up and you knew where it was. Now, like you said, if you wanted to make that trek to go up to D.C., you could have went up there and you could have got there. You knew that some news outlet was covering it. You might not have known which one, but you check the channel guide if you want to find out what time your soap opera's coming on in case the UCI bike race is around. So,
even through social media, I mean, you can find it. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, excuses. Let's not make an excuse. Let's not do that.
Nah, I can dig it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. I mean, I think we kind of said the main pieces of what I wanted to kind of to get out. If you wanted to get it, you could have gotten it. If you had no interest in going, I can respect that. If you wanted to be there, I can respect that as well. I'm one of those people, and I'll just put a bow on this before we move on. I think that everybody who was there is tasked with taking the message that the minister and other speakers gave to go back home, go back to your communities, go back to your hood, and actually implement those things that you talked about.
Yes.
Because Didi, if they don't do it,
What was the point?
then what was the point?
What was the point?
And
Didn't
then
we
what
just
was,
say, we've been saying that all
and then
night.
what was the point? Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial to be a part of the discussion. If you want to talk to Didi, Ty G, Big Bro Joe, Miss Tony, yours truly, or if you want to be vain and hear your voice, call us up, 804-402-2893. Like I told y'all before, this is the reason why I do radio, because I'm conceited. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. All right, I want to kind of change the tenor of the discussion and move on to something else. Big Bro Joe, you up first on this next discussion.
Can I ask you one quick question, Marcus?
Sure.
I got to put this out here. And you know what? We getting shouts from down in the Queen City. So
Oh, word?
Yeah.
All
So
right,
I had to, shout out my girl Chantel. She's down in the QC listening to us as she always does.
Every week. What's up, girl?
She likes to hear herself talk too sometimes. So, if you have
she know
something you
the
want to
number.
say, call in and tell us. But I just got to tell you, yo, Ty, she wanted to shout you out, dog, because she was like, yo, is that Life Jennings y'all got in there? She was like, yo, I'm ready for, I can see her sweating right now through the text message.
She hears the voice, right?
Yeah, she hears the
'Cause
voice
I'm
like,
sitting
yo,
here too, like,
Yeah.
quit leaning. She's like,
Yeah.
I think she wants you to break out in a song or something, bro. Oh, there it is right there. You know
That's
you
all
get
though.
That's it. Oh, you got to pay for the rest of it.
Yeah, I ain't mad. I ain't mad. Good shout out. And our homeboy who I got an opportunity to meet Saturday night was listening. So shout out to him. You know you are if you're still listening to us right now. Shout out to you as well. I appreciate that information, that dime you dropped on me. I'm definitely going to take you up on that information that you gave me. If you're listening, you know who you are.
He still is. He just hit me back. He said, "Yo," and he said, "Yo, thank you," and live the truth, man.
Okay, that's what it is. If you're still listening, you know this is shout out to you. It was good to meet you and shake your hand. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J.